Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You should know that many Jews do not follow the Torah or the Old Testament. Rather, they hold to the Talmud, which has many misconceptions and oddities in its teachings. The Talmud is the most important holy book for the Jewish people, even more important than the Torah. The Talmud is not only the source of religious law, but also the ideology and principles, as well as the direction for the policy-making of the Israeli Jewish state and government, and the world view of the Jewish people in general. This is also why the Jewish state of Israel has been called racist, chauvinistic, theocratic, conservative, and highly dogmatic. To understand the seemingly arrogant, hard-headed, uncompromising actions of the state of Israel, one needs to understand the teachings of the Talmud, which is believed by Jews to be the most important of their holy books. The Jewish faith in the Talmud surpasses even the Old Testament, also known as the Torah. Evidence of this can be found in Talmud Erubin 2b in the Sonsino edition, which reminds the Jewish people, "O my son, let you give preference to the fatwas of the scribes to whom the Talmud refers, over the verses of the Torah." The priests of the Talmud claim that some of the contents of the Talmud are a compilation of the teachings delivered by Prophet Moses, peace be upon him, orally, until the arrival of the Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him. The Talmud had not been compiled in writing in its present form. Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, condemned the Mishnah tradition in the early Talmud, including those who taught it, namely the Jewish priests and Pharisees, because the content of the Talmud was entirely distorted, even contradicting the Torah. Christians, out of ignorance, until recently thought that the Old Testament was the supreme book of Judaism. This assumption is wrong. The Parisi priests taught that the doctrines and fatwas that came from the rabbis or priests were superior to the revelations that came from God. The Talmud argues that its laws are above the Torah and do not even support the content of the Torah. Jewish scholar Hayam Maccoby, in his book Judaism on Trial, quotes Rabbi Yehiel ben Joseph as saying, "Without the Talmud, we would not be able to understand the verses of the Torah. God has delegated this authority to the wise, for tradition is as necessary as the books of Revelation. The wise make their interpretations, and those who have never studied the Talmud cannot possibly understand the Torah." There is a group among the Jewish people who reject the Talmud and stick to the Torah alone or the current Old Testament. These are called the Aryeh, the group that has historically been the most hated and victimized by the Orthodox Jewish clergy. To the Mishnah tradition, the Jewish priests added another book, which they called the Gemara, or the interpretation of the priests. The Mishnah tradition, which was later recorded together with the Gemara, is called the Talmud. There are two versions of the Talmud, the Jerusalem Talmud and the Babylonian Talmud. The Babylonian Talmud is considered to be the most authoritative. The following excerpts from the Talmud are undisputed originals, in the hope of enlightening all of humanity, including the Jewish people, about the misguided and racist teachings of the hateful Talmud, which is the holy book of both Orthodox and Hasidic Jews around the world. The implementation of the Talmudic teachings about the superiority of the Jewish people based on the teachings of hatred has caused unbelievable suffering to others throughout human history, until now, especially in the land of Palestine. It has been used as a pretext to justify the mass slaughter of Arab Palestinian civilians. The Talmud stipulates that all non-Jews are goyim, equal to animals, below the level of human beings. The Jewish race is the chosen people, the only race that claims to be the direct descendants of the prophet Adam, peace be upon him. Let us examine some of the strange and heretical teachings of the Babylonian Talmud manuscripts. Erubin 2b. Whoever disobeys their rabbis will be punished by being stricken in the boiling human excrement of hell. Moed Katan, Maimonides 17a. Whenever a Jew is tempted to commit a crime, let him go to a city where he is not known and commit the crime there. Persecuting a Jew is blaspheming God. Sanhedrin 58b, if a Gentile persecutes a Jew, the Gentile shall be killed. This is another strange and heretical teaching. It is permissible to cheat a Gentile. Sanhedrin 57a, a Jew is not obligated to pay wages to a Gentile who works for him. Jews have a higher legal status. Baba Kama 37b, if a Jew's ox injures a Canaanite's ox, no compensation is required. But if a Canaanite's ox injures a Jew's ox, he must make full restitution. Jews may steal non-Jewish property. Baba Mezia 24a, if a Jew finds lost property belonging to a Gentile, he is not obligated to return it to its owner. This verse is reaffirmed in Baba Kama 113b. Sanhedrin 57a, God will not forgive a Jew who marries his daughter to an old man, or takes a son-in-law for his infant daughter, or returns lost property belonging to a Kathia, a Gentile. Jews may rob or kill non-Jews. Sanhedrin 57a, if a Jew kills a Kathia, Gentile, there is no death penalty. What a Jew has stolen he may possess. Baba Kama 37b, the Gentiles are outside the protection of the law, and God opens their money to the children of Israel. Jews may lie to non-Jews. Baba Kama 113a, it is permissible for a Jew to lie to deceive a Gentile. Non-Jews are animals below the degree of man. Yebamoth 98a, all the offspring of Gentiles belong to the same class as animals. Abodah Zara 36b, the daughters of infidels are nida, unclean from birth. Abodah Zara 22saya 22b, pagans prefer to have sex with oxen. Crazy teachings in the Talmud. Gittin 69a, to heal the body, take the dust under the shadow of the latrine, mix it with honey, and eat it. Shabbath 41a, the laws governing the necessity of urinating in a holy manner are prescribed. Yebamoth 63a, Adam had intercourse with all the animals when he was in heaven. Yebamoth 63a, being a farmer is the most despicable occupation. Sanhedrin 55b, a Jew may marry a girl 3 years old, to be precise, 3 years and 1 day. Sanhedrin 54b, a Jew may have intercourse with a girl child, provided she is under 9 years of age. Kethaboth 11b, if an adult has intercourse with a girl, there is no sin. Yebamoth 59b, a woman who has had intercourse with an animal may marry a Jewish priest. A Jewish woman who has had intercourse with a jinn may also marry a Jewish priest. Abodah Zara 17a, prove if there is a single prostitute on the face of the earth who has not been fucked by a Talmudic priest of Eleazar. Hagiga 27a, declare that there will not be a single rabbi who will go to hell. Baba Mezia 59b, a rabbi debated God and defeated him. God also recognized that the rabbi won the debate. Gittin 70a, the rabbis taught, once a person leaves the latrine, he should not have intercourse until he has waited a time equal to traveling half a mile. It is said that the demon in the latrine is still with him during that time. If he does so, his children will develop apoplexy. Gittin 69b, to cure the disease of paralysis, mix the dung of a dog with white fur and mix it with balm. But if it is possible to avoid the disease, it is not necessary to eat the dog's dung because it will make the limbs weak. Friends, this is just to add to your insight how the religion of Islam and the teachings brought by the Prophet Muhammad are truly very great and beautiful teachings. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.